exactly 70 days away from the midterm elections. House Republicans working with a razor-thin majority and are hoping to add more seats come November. Republicans across the country campaigning on their, quote, common sense policies compared to Democrats', quote, crazy policies. But voters are more focused on their wallets. Recent polls are finding 77% of Americans rate the economy poorly. Another poll finding nearly half of Americans say the cost of groceries is a major source of stress for them. Let's bring in House Republican Conference Chairwoman, Michigan Congresswoman Lisa McClain. Congresswoman, it's great to have you as always. And we've talked about this before, but how do Republicans turn things around? You've got 70 days. Early voting is starting next month in several of these states, and people are worried about their pocketbooks.
Yeah, look, I shop at the same grocery stores and gas stations as everyone else, and what we're not going to do is gaslight the American people. And what we're trying to do is really focus on the long term and make better deals for the American people, and that's exactly what we're doing. I think where we really need to focus is the difference of the strategy. One party wants to take money out of your pocket and give it to someone else. We, as Republicans, we don't believe that. We believe you should work hard for your money and you should be able to spend it on things you want to spend it on. We also are trying to bring more investment back into the United States of America, which we're doing. And under President Trump's leadership, we've been able to do that. Look, we're digging ourselves out of a massive hole, and we just have to remind people about all the wins that we've received. Look at the working families tax cuts. I will remind everybody, every single Democrat voted to raise your taxes and take more money out of your pocket and let the federal government spend your money. That's not what we believe in, and that's wrong.
Well, you know, certainly this is, of course, going to be the story as we move into these midterms. You wrote a Fox News op-ed just over the weekend, and you're slamming the left for being wrong about the issue of communism. We've seen that, of course, in your state as we move into November. You're recounting stories from survivors of communist regimes. So what do these survivors think about the rise of communism? Not just democratic socialism, but communism here in this country.
Yeah. They're gravely concerned because they lived under that regime. And what we've done is we've actually brought people together to tell their stories who fled communism to freedom, to America, to the last bastion of hope, really, it is America. And what they're seeing right now scares the bejesus out of them because they see some people in America going down that communist path, right? They hear, hey, everything's going to be free grocery stores, free education. And what they remind everybody, especially like people like Carlos Jimenez, is like, yeah, it's free. The problem is there's no medicine to get. The problem is there's no groceries on the shelf to get, right? They've lived through it, and that's what we're really trying to do is bring those stories to life. Because when I ask people, it's not free. Nothing is ever free. So are you telling me the farmers are going to do their, plow their fields for free? Are you telling me that the teachers are going to teach for free? Somebody has to pay for it, and that's the disconnect that nobody wants to talk about. Who's actually paying for it?
Well, let's talk about Michigan and the Senate race in Michigan. You've got Abdul El-Sayed, you've got Mike Rogers. You know, Abdul El-Sayed was on with my colleague Jesse Waters last night, and he was doubling down. He was doubling down on, Medicare for all. He was doubling down on, all these, very, very far left policies. Many say that this won't work. In particular, this is somebody that is a doctor but never practiced medicine and is saying that we should have basically socialist medicine in this country, which doesn't work out in other countries. And I know you laugh because there's some polls I've seen out in Michigan where he's got an edge. So what do you make of what you're seeing in your state? What are your constituents saying is most important to them as we move into this really highly watched race for the Senate? Because the Democrats are really hoping to flip Michigan.
Yeah, they are. But we're going to take Michigan in that Senate race, and we're going to take it for one simple reason. It's common sense versus communist crazy. And don't believe my word. Listen to what El Said says, right? He wants transgender, he wants girls to have to compete against men in women's sports. He says that. He wants free everything. He loves the socialist communist agenda. And not only that, he hangs around with people who believe Americans deserved 9/11. If my mom taught me anything, she taught me you are who you hang with. So look at who he hangs with and ask him why is he deleting all of his posts. And the other thing that I think is really interesting is he wants this one-payer system for healthcare. Ask him why his wife doesn't accept Medicare for her patients. I believe she's a doctor, too. So do you practice what you preach, or are you just saying, hey, do as I say, not as I do, which I think is really comical. But I'll share with you, the people in Michigan, they're normal, common sense people that want to do a hard day's work and keep more of their money in their pocket. They actually believe that they are better stewards of their money, and they believe in common sense. And I believe common sense will prevail in Michigan, and that's why Mike Rogers will be successful.
Yeah, no, Mike Rogers, former Army lieutenant, part of the FBI, served his country. So, well, we're really watching that race. But, something else that could be really helpful to the GOP is the amount of fundraising that's been done. Republicans have got plenty of cash on hand. The National Republican Congressional Committee's got nearly $91 million. President Trump's revealed he's prepared to spend a lot of money from MAGA Inc. To help out here. And you've also got the Republican midterm convention in Texas. That's September 9th and 10th, to energize the base. I want to get your thoughts on all of this.
Yeah, look, I'm excited about the midterm convention, right? We have lots of energy behind us because of what we've done with our legislation, the working families tax cuts. Remember, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, right? And the biggest thing that Republicans have together, and we're going to bring everyone together at the midterm conventions, we're unified. We're united. Take a look and compare the Republican Party right now to the Democrats. You have a ton of infighting on the Democrat Party, right? Are they Democrats or are they communists? That's a huge infighting that they're dealing with right now. Republicans, we're united. We're energized, and we're going to get together in Dallas and show the American people, and hopefully those left-wing media outlets will cover it and cover it truthfully and honestly, right? Hope's not a great strategy. And you'll see the energy. You'll see the unity, and you'll see the common sense that the Republican Party will deliver in November.
Before you go, I got to ask you about Michigan and this trade fight with Canada, because this trade war has really escalated. President Trump made that announcement, 50% tariffs on Canadian cars, trucks, auto parts as of January 1st. Canada expected to announce retaliatory tariffs. This is your home state, Michigan. You're doing more trade with Canada than any other state in our nation. So talk about this tariff impact. How is it going to impact your community?
Well, first of all, I want to make sure that everybody understands the facts, right? What started this trade negotiation was we have country of origin tariffs, which Canada, who's supposed to be our partner, says, hey, don't worry about that. Sell your products and ship your products through Canada, and we'll make sure that you don't have to pay your tariffs. Well, that doesn't sound like a really good partner to me, number one. Number two, let me remind everybody that since the 1990s, the Canadians have tariffed our farmers and dairy products at 250%. Since the 1990s. And President Trump has been talking about this leveling the playing field, not to mention that there's a $60 billion trade deficit with Canada. Listen, what President Trump is trying to do, and I applaud him for that, is level the playing field. There is absolutely no way that President Trump is going to make a bad deal for the American people, right? That's exactly why we got out of the EV mandate, right? It would have cost $1 trillion and 200,000 jobs. Yeah. He's not going to make a bad deal for America. Yeah. He's trying to level the playing field, and it's time for Canada to come up and level the playing field and be a good trading partner with us.
We're going to be watching it. It's always great to have you on the program. Congresswoman Lisa McClain, thank you so much for being here. We'll be right back, everybody.
Thank you.